So the next game we're going to be reviewing is called Compressed Space. We're going to have the dev on in about an hour, somewhere in there. Okay, so we can move with WASD, and we can jump with space. Look at the art on this already. Like, look at the hair, dude. Like, that's so cool looking. Yeah, the hair looks red. Look at that. Okay, it is loud. I will turn it down. Look at that, chat. What an interesting mechanic, right? What just happened? We compressed space. That awesome? That red? What happens if you compress yourself? Let's find out. Her eyes turn purple and she says, "No. You will not compress me. I am uncompressible." And we can't compress that either. Sick. I deleted the level. Nice. All right. Deleting the floor is classic. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's exciting to me. I like how you've already evolved this with new mechanics. Immediately so. Yeah, immediately evolved with new mechanics. We can already try new stuff. We just get rid of the walls, you know. It immediately gives you, like, ideas for... You know, I know how it feels. I know what you do. Immediately, right? And it's fun. Like, it feels really good. Yeah. Okay, so you have new mechanics. What is this? Alright. Okay, so we can push that on there. Wait, how do I let go? There we go. Whoop. So now you've added new puzzle mechanics to it. It feels quite good. You can compress space into the Switch. I quite like that. We can't get rid of that. How do I get myself down there? Wait. No, we can't get rid of that one. Can't get rid of that one. Oh. That's really interesting. I quite like that. Use the ceiling. I gotta say, this is an eldritch being of great horror, though, to be honest. Like, that is. I have a deep fear, you know, of the things that it's capable of doing. You wishlisted it? Please do. Mods, can you pin the comment for the game specifically? Would be helpful. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're literally folding space. We're compressing space. Honestly, what a fantastic looking game. Simple mechanic and extremely well executed. Simple in terms of how to understand it, but really impressive. There we go. Nope. That's one of them. And now we have to get the other one. That definitely just got rid of the puzzle instead of solving it. Can we compress this down somewhere? Because we can't really push this farther, can we? No, we can't. Because that would just get rid of it, yeah? Yeah, that just gets rid of the puzzle. I wonder if we can do... Because if we crush this across, that gets rid of the end solution. We can't get rid of this compression. We need to have the block on top. That's kind of what I'm wondering. Because then we can crush the bottom part, right? Because we can use that to the bottom. Can we reset? Hitting R. Perfect. Because we can just do that. And then we can use this for the top piece. But now we have to find a way to compress it all the way over. How do we compress it? That one has purple on it, so we can't do it. We need to compress this upwards. This can't be compressed upwards. There we go. We can just grab this and do it all the way over there. Yeah, R to reset. Absolutely made sense. Neat. That's quite cool. Huh. Can we turn this into one switch? Almost. That's really interesting, though. Here, let me reset this. No, that gets rid of that. We just shrink this. I love that you could just completely crush the whole arena. Like, that's insane. Like, look at this. Right? Like... it's honestly insane to think about. It's just wild to see this. What a crazy mechanic. Yeah. Don't use the block, it's unnecessary? Yeah, we can just crush the wall. Well, we have to use the block, we have to move it. So I'll move the block out of the way. Then we can do this, and then I can take the ceiling and, you know? Can you combine the two together? I don't know. Okay, we have to somehow escape. So we're gonna do this. Or we need to get that block. Squish. How can we get that block out of it? Oh, actually, better idea. So we can just do it like that. So we'll take this character, put him up here, and then do this up to that. That goes to the same one. Yeah. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like we can just do that. Then I'll have to take this and bring it down there, is what it seems like. But I need to compress things out of the way, first off. So that we don't have all that extra space in it. We just do it like that. Beautiful. Now we can do... There we go. What an awesome system, dude. Like, legitimately. Like, what an insanely cool thing that you've made. Like, that's wild. Legitimately, it's completely insane. Like... I can't wait to talk to you about this game, man. Oh. So that one is a water wheel to cause power generation. Yeah, it's very intuitive. Yeep. So now we have to deal with liquid flow. And we have to make that actually do water. I love that. What an awesome system. That's really neat. Alright, let's do this to there. We'll do this to there. So now it's pouring to that. Then we'll do this to there. And now that's going to go across. Love it. Your mind is 1,000% blown by this? 100%. Yeah, it's crazy. It's such an imaginative and interesting way to do this. Electrified water. So we can actually make water go across... We can make electricity go across the water. This way. So all we gotta do is take this. There we go. So water can also be a conductor, like the wires. Oh. There we go. Oh! Getting electrocuted is bad. I've learned. Yeah. Who knew? Who knew electricity would hurt? So we'll block that off for a moment. Go over here, and then open it back up, and then leave. Yeah. Who could have known such a thing? Oh, that's interesting. What is this? That's interesting. Looks like we have to go... That's 2. We need 3. So we'll need a third one plugging into this, but we've got 2 entrances for this. How do we get a third one connected? As we do that... Oh, I guess it counts as... Oh, because the electricity from the water is now touching it. This pipe is touching it, and that pipe is touching it. Got it. Cool. So it just needs 3 sides of electricity. I dig that. Very interesting. Squish. Whoop. And then... Huh. I actually really like this. There we go. Because all the water will be connected to each other. Oh, I electrified the ocean. And myself. Mistake. Deeply terrifying. No, Scotch, it's absolutely not. That's funny, though. Alright, we got water from here. We have an electrical here. We can electrify the ocean. We need to be pulling this downwards. But not yet. So let's get this platforming out of the way. Got it. And now pull this down. We have to get the water to come over, don't we? That's 1. What? How did I get hit by electricity? I was inside the cave! F. Was I crushed by the door? Nice. Alright, there's the electricity right there. But we can't cross this. But we can do this. Oh, I guess we could just walk through. I thought we needed two. Yeah. Terrifying. Nice. So the amount of air pressure pushes the water. That's really interesting. Or is it the moon? Wait, am I pulling the whole moon down? Okay, that's ridiculous. This is it. This is... You have too much power. You have too much power. Too much power. We're using the moon as a mechanic. I needed to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna do... Nice. And we'll do that. And we'll do that. And then we'll make the moon come down just a little bit more. Terrifying. And then we leave. I love using the moon as a mechanic, dude. Huh. Gone. No more moon. Actually insane. That's right. We've deleted the moon. Let's see here. We will need to bring this down a little bit. Nope. I crushed it. Let me see if we can go from here. Alright, that was just enough to do that. Now we need to bring this up. Made a huge mistake. Alright, that brings it up by that much. Terrifying, got it. The moon disappears when I do this. I think that would kill me, yeah? Pretty sure that's death. Pretty sure that's death, you know? That's death. That looks like death. Wait, how do we get electricity down that way? Oh, we gotta get the water now. I'm so scared of it. Oh, no, no, don't go from there. Alright, this will be electricity. And now the ocean's electrified. Now we can go through. Love it. And now... no more moon. Too far. Get out this way, and we're done. Actually cool as hell. What is that? What's that do? New mechanic, compress it. Get rid of it. Okay. Oh. 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 Interesting as hell. Love it. Awesome. Really cool, man. Oh god, they're everywhere now. You are actually cooking with this game, my friend. You're making something very interesting. Fell through the map. Let's see. This looks like it's what's supposed to pull into that, but we can't do it. Because that can't get in the way of it. Oh? That's a bit weird, right? You can increase the height of your jump by doing that. Which I find to be really interesting. Like, really interesting, actually. I love this, dude. Ah! And then... Oh, actually, we have to go on the other side. I have to go on the other side of this. We have to find another way around. So it's got to go... there. And there. And there. And there. And then... there we go. Yeah, what an awesome system. Get rid of it. Just delete it. Yep. Actually phenomenal, dude. Oh, wait, this is going to be a problem. Because that'll make both of them disappear. And we can't get rid of that. Gone. I love that. That's just crazy, dude. What a cool puzzle game. Yeah, actually incredible. So that projects the same distance no matter what. Oh, I'm gonna ask a bunch of stuff, dude. I've got a lot of ideas to ask now. Yeah, that's... it's just wild, dude. Like it really is a wild mechanic. I love that it's now using, like, platforming... like, to do that, to pull that off now. You know, like, we could just teleport from one side to the other because of that. The level up animation is quite cool, yeah. Really, really well done. Okay, we can't do anything over here. If we do that, pops them all. No! Almost had it. That'll stop us over there. There we go. There we go. This game messes with your smooth brain. Enlargen the brain. Unsmooth it, friend. It is time. Oh. That's interesting. So these still stay even if we compress the space around them. That's not what I expected. My bones! I've compressed my own bones out. Good. Nope! Alright. There we go. Yeah, how dare it not bend to my will? What are these? Okay. I don't know what that is. It's a weird box, yeah? It's just a filter. Hey, so, okay, so that goes through it, but I can't go through it. Got it. So if we want that one to go through, or we want that one, we got it. All right, that's interesting. So what we need to do is we need to do that. We'll get rid of this one too. Love that. This one will always be gone. And now we need that like that. And then we need to take this. There we go. Interesting system. No, it's a filter. Yeah, it's like a mesh. So these beams can go through, but you can't. Oh. The next one is all the way up there. So we'll crush that down. This is going to be a complicated mess. Look at this. Because if we bring that one all the way down there, it's not high enough for that, I don't believe. No, it's gonna pincer. Or pincer, rather. Can I go one more down? I can. Hold up. There we go. Nice. Bring that all the way up. And now we need to get up this one. So it's right there. Go this way. Go that way. So we'll need to take... We can't take that one down any further. Oof. Unless... Not what I wanted. Okay. This is getting really complicated and interesting. Do that. Oh, it was almost. I've made a huge mistake. There we go. I was hoping to get that right there, but it's just out of range. Chad, are you eating glue again? You better not be. So we do that, it goes through all of them. We need one more. Somehow cheesed it. Cheese. Little bit of cheese. Oh, those are lasers. All right. Wait. All right, good. Tad cheese. Cheese is okay too? Hell yeah. This man loves cheese. It's getting scary. It's getting scary. Ugh. Guys, how many layers deep do you think we can fold this before it breaks? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like at some point there's gotta be a structural limit to the universe, right? About 350. Nice. Lasers. Oh. How do we de-squish? Wait. We can't modify these. We can only go down this route. Okay. That's where we'd have to get to. Okay. I understand now. I can see the objective. But I have to be in the top right to get there. Wait. I need to make sure that doesn't accidentally kill me. It would accidentally kill me. Alright. Because if I do this... Dead. If I do this... Those lasers are right over the top. Dead. Removing that out doesn't do anything of value. The lasers will still kill you no matter what. Removing... That's sneaky. I like that. Alright. The enscrunchioning. It has begun. I really, really like that. That's really cool. I wasn't thinking about that sidewall the whole time. All right, so we're playing your game, Compressed Space. The puzzle game is phenomenal. You've done an awesome job on this. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your studio? Are you working with anybody else? Is it just you? Like, give me the deets, man.
Yeah, I am a small Bangladeshi dev, small indie dev from Bangladesh. I've been making small games for a while. Then after graduating, I joined a company, worked 9-hour job, and got really tired of it, and made this game, the original version of this game, in a game jam. It was a Lumdare jam, and from that I worked on it in my free time for like 2 years before finally deciding to quit my job this year. And so
that's incredible, actually. So did you quit your job because you're making this game, or did you quit your job because you're sick of it? You were also making this game.
I was sick of it, but another factor was that several really amazing things happened last year. Actually, during this month, this game was selected for the Dragneck New Voices grant, which is a puzzle game focused grant that they give to developers from like underrepresented regions. And I'm sure you haven't heard of a game from Bangladesh before, so.
No, I haven't actually. I just cheesed that level, by the way.
It's okay. This entire mechanic is cheese. Don't worry.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But no, that's actually really cool. So tell me a little bit about that. I don't know much about games from Bangladesh at all. We've got a pretty international community here. You know, I stream 12 hours a day, so you're gonna get people from all different time zones. But I don't know much about indie games from that region. So what is it like? What's the indie scene like there, man?
It's small. Like, there are a few people making game jams, and some have released on Steam as well. Speaking of myself, I released on Steam, and my previous game was on Steam and consoles, and this is my second game. Aside from me, I guess there was one game that's not necessarily indie. It's called 0 Hour. It went free on Epic a while ago, I think. That, I would say, is the quote-unquote big game from here. Aside from that, indie, yeah, it's a bit... There's a grassroots scene, but right now we're doing it, is what I say.
That makes sense.
And I hope to elevate that with this game.
Yeah, no, it seems that actually seems really, really cool, to be honest with you. I didn't realize that there was a big scene for that in Bangladesh. It's cool because we're meeting a bunch of people from all over the world that are making things, and what you've built here is incredible. And you said you did this for Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare,
Yeah.
however anyone pronounces.
I
Everyone
think it's called
pronounces it.
Ludum Dare.
Yeah,
I'm also not sure, but
I literally have no idea. Everyone pronounces it differently. It's just like really funny. Yeah, no. So you made this as a game jam game, and now it's turned into, the next chapter of your life. That's freaking awesome. How do you feel about it right now? How do you feel about the game right now?
I feel like very happy, and also like there's so much I want to do. It's like 25% of what I want the full game to be at this point.
Really?
And like there's so much I want to do with this. The grant allows me to work on it full time, and it has really let me work on this without needing to like find a publisher. And I'm hoping to like fully explore this space holding mechanic as much as possible, with as much weirdness as possible.
That makes sense. Have you, so you said without a publisher, how do you find that process without one so far? How's that felt to you?
I think like I have to do everything. Like there's all the money aspect, of course. But I have to do everything myself, and that's a bit overwhelming.
That makes sense.
Oh, I think you're in the final level. How would I put there? So maybe I can do it after this.
Totally fair. I didn't realize we did 48 of these levels.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really didn't expect for this to be over this quickly. But yeah.
I'm sorry. I like the puzzle game.
It's fine. It's
No,
good to see someone enjoying and playing through.
I really enjoyed this. I think the thing that sort of blew me away about it is almost every level you introduce a new mechanic. That's pretty unheard of in terms of puzzle games. A lot of the times it's like
I
do a world.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that process for you developing a new mechanic, because most of the time when I play a puzzle game, it's like you get a whole world, all these levels have the new mechanic, and then you move on to the next world and you get a new mechanic. But this was like every 2 levels. It's like every 2 or 3 levels you were having like completely new stuff. It's phenomenal.
But generally what I do is I break these things you can do with a particular mechanic, the interactions step by step. For example, like, there's a switch, you can step on it to activate it, or you can fold it against a wall. Now, first step with that would be just folding it horizontally, maybe vertically, and then maybe both at once. So I break these things down bit by bit, and I spread them. I make puzzles focusing on each and spread them around so that there's a really good progression flow, like what you see here. So that's what I do to maybe get this flow, I think.
Your workflow is definitely working. How long did it take you to make the 48 levels that you have here?
It's a bit hard to measure because some of these have been there for like 1 year, 1 to 2 years. Like, I suppose there aren't any levels that are still there from the Ludum Dare Jam version, but a lot of these are quite old. But yeah, I'll put it this way: like the original demo came out on May this year, and that had like 24 levels, and these are like there are 48 now. And if I count everything that is not here, then there's about 100 levels with a variety of mechanics.
Really?
I'd say like the levels themselves don't take much of time, but picking the mechanics, they ensure that they have a lot of cool stuff, like the water, that amount of levels in my game sort of tripled once I added water.
That makes sense. Yeah, the water mechanic is incredibly interesting, especially with carrying electricity. I loved that. I actually thought that was really, really clever and very interesting. And also having switches be pressed by other pieces of geometry like this, phenomenal.
Yeah. I was inspired by Baba's view for that. In that game, you can like move the walls and do also some weird things. So, I also thought like how many ways I can do this, and came up with the wall stuff. But
yeah, that's really
but
cool.
Originally it was a bug.
Baba Is You is an awesome game. So really good, really good game to have inspiration from, I think, to be honest with you. Like it was completely game changing. And so is this. I have never seen a mechanic like this for folding space in this way. What process did you go through coming up with this? What made you do this? And what was the Game Jam theme that led to this?
The Game Jam theme was limited space. The entire story for the Game Jam is you stick. I can go through it if you want.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, so I think the jam was 4 days, and on the first day I had a team, and we did not make this. thought about doing was like a reverse unpacking. Like if you played unpacking, you have to unpack your bag and put stuff in the room to arrange it in various ways. And the reverse would be, you'd be taking stuff in a suitcase, and that stuff you take would impact your life. And we came up with the idea. We were hopeful about it. Then the team fell apart at the night, on the first night. And
as they do.
I was quite depressed, and feel like I don't know if I want to do this game jam now. And I procrastinated and watched a show called Jujutsu Kaisen.
I know Jujutsu Kaisen. I love it. Yeah.
In there was a character called Dojo Satoru who could had this sort of space manipulation mechanic where he could manipulate the distance between these points. It could make it infinite or zero, which is technically what is happening here, right? I saw I had a moment of epiphany just watching a single episode. Like, wait, this is exactly what the theme is.
So I
can make that.
You're telling me you turned domain expansion into a video game?
Yes.
Oh, that's actually rad. That's a really cool way to look at it, to be honest with you. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I mean, it's worked out. Now that I know you were inspired by Jujutsu Kaisen, this is just really funny. Like, that's hilarious to me. It's also, the game is really good, so you're doing a really good job on this. I'm interested, so you've got it in demo now, and you have 48 levels. How many levels do you want to have at full release?
I would say, like I said, 25%. So about maybe not 200. Since some levels are longer, I'd say I'm aiming for 130 to 50. Meaningful levels, maybe.
That's fantastic. I think that's quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's been a wild journey. First I thought this mechanic was too powerful to make me oh my god, what are you doing to the toolbox?
Crushing it.
Indeed.
Let's try to see what I could do with it. I want to break the game at the same time,
No, it's fine. The same is sort of born from an appreciation of those cheating mechanics been doing so many levels. So what if I make a game that sort of embraced all that? Just slam walls and switches, kill the moon, why not, right?
Yeah, no, the moment that I saw the moon mechanic, I was like, this is something else, because that's unheard of. You'll never see a mechanic like that in pretty much any other game. Yeah. And I find that to be really fascinating.
I'll point
really
one thing out. There are a few games that after making this, I found out that there were a few games that have done this, but I just wasn't aware of it. I think chat mentioned something about a Flash game. There was one called Fault Line, made by Nitro a long while ago. I didn't play that. I published the demo, and people were saying, "Is this inspired by Fault Line?" Then then I looked at it and wow, and it's very weird since I played a lot of Nitro's games. I just didn't play that one because it's not on mobile. It's a Flash game, an old Flash game,
That makes sense.
Somehow didn't reach it.
Do you have to go find it on Newgrounds or something like that?
Yep.
The old days. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool, though.
I did go up in the Flash era, though. Just didn't find that game somehow. And it's really weird. If some part of my life changed, I wouldn't be making this game. It's very weird.
To be honest with you, there's a million games out there that none of us have ever heard of. So I'm not really surprised. Not even a little bit. There's so many games that we've never seen. It's part of the reason that we're doing the indie games, the Indiecember game show, is because there are so many games like this that I've never heard of that are friggin' amazing, and you're making something really cool here. I love this.
There's also coincidentally another game that released their trailer when I released mine. I think you saw it. It was a Metroidvania with a sort of spin bending mechanic like this. I can't remember the name correctly.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a game that did this. Not at all. Chat's shut up and take my money.
Not this way. But sure. I mean, but yeah, even that game is quite different. Even if you have this is something I've realized. Even if you have the same idea as other people, you will interpret it differently. I'm sure there might be people who might come up with this mechanic, but there are no freaks who will let you read the movie. So
yeah, I think this right here even is just such an interesting thing of oh yeah, the ocean is a mechanic now. I love that you've evolved on that. And I can't wait to see what else you add, because if you're adding that many mechanics that quickly to this, you know, because you have this really cool concept, but you're also executing on it quite well. You know, it's not just the concept is interesting.
Yeah, I will say that the grant I was selected for, the Drag Technique Courses grant, they offer a mentorship from experienced puzzle designers, and that has already really helped me in refining this game because like there may be few games here in Bangladesh, but nobody makes puzzle games.
Really?
So
is it just not a thing?
Really, no one. Like there are people making other games, but if I want to like find some help about puzzle game design, there's not really anyone to ask for. So that in that case, the grant has really helped.
What are the most popular games in Bangladesh you would find?
I think you would find the same sort of general environment as India, where everyone mostly has mobile phones. So those are the ones that most people play, like your PUBGs and whatnot.
Interesting. Yeah, no, the mobile market is absolutely massive. It's funny because here in America, a lot of people don't realize how enormous the market is for mobile games. And they were mobile games were looked down on for quite a long time because of that. And I think people are finally realizing that, wait a minute, there's a lot of games out there for this. And it's the rest of the entire world plays on mobile games.
Yeah, it's also why like I want to put this to mobile with touch controls, because that way more people from my country will get it.
It's a good idea. It really, really is a good idea, to be honest with you, because it's not something to just, too many people mark it out of like, oh no, we won't do mobile because it doesn't matter. It's like, no, the mobile market is amazing, and I think this on mobile would actually work really well just because of how simplistic the controls are. Yeah, because it's all touch puzzles. Exactly. This is the first one that I was like, wait a minute, this is like way more complicated than I anticipated. Love that.
Yeah, and the current demo, this is like the ending puzzle, because I feel like it gives a good idea of how complex the game can get.
Yeah, because you have, not only do you collapse the space, right, but you also make the moon closer each time you do, so it raises the water by 2 for every 1 that you do, which is super interesting, especially when the water will kill you if it touches you.
Yeah. I'm working on that. Like I don't like it hurts at me every time I see someone die and have to restart the puzzle. I'm working on an undo system for that, so that people can just work with it right from there with frustration. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, like it's definitely like a thing where I think some people would be turned off by it just because it is difficult, but I didn't really feel like this was super scary, if that makes sense. Like it felt like it made sense, and when I lost, it was like, whatever. I just get to try again, and I know the steps to get there. So it does feel really balanced to me. But if you have levels that are like very, very long and complicated, I can understand entirely.
It's actually the other way around, because I don't want people to get stuck, frustrated. I don't design those ultra long levels. Yeah. So that's one of the reason I want to add undo, so to open that design area.
That's really interesting, actually. I'm just kind of blown away by how many different mechanics you have in this. Yeah. The protagonist is allergic to water. No, allergic to electrical water. As are you.
Yeah.
The spicy water is dangerous.
I mean, you can be Cthulhu, but Pikachu will still kill you, so.
Yep.
If you're good enough.
I love this, though. Like, it's just such an interesting concept. You've made something really, really cool. Legitimately so. And I think the biggest thing to me is, like, I'm kind of blown away by what you've done here, because I've never really seen a puzzle game go this far out before, if that makes sense. A lot of the times puzzle games will kind of play it safe with a couple of mechanics because they're worried about overwhelming the player or doing something that is conceivably too confusing, but you've just added a ton of different mechanics and said, go, and now you have this opportunity to build things that are really interesting because you have so many mechanics, and by endgame you have like 50 things to call from instead of that. I am interested, with that in mind, do you have any plans for something like a player level editor?
Yeah, I'm planning to do that. It's a bit challenging because one of the challenges with making the level editor is that you only make so many levels, and you don't make all of the mechanics interact properly with the other things if they don't appear in the level.
Correct.
So, yeah, that will take time, but I will go through it.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's
I can
good.
explore everything here.
Yeah.
One one of the comments I said ask about 3D. Can I talk about that because that's an interesting story.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
So the game's demo released in May, and until 2 months before that, the game was fully 3D. Like you had a full 3D world, you could move in Z-axis, and you could fold in the Z-axis. And I really tried to make that work, and it was workable. But the issue was that none of the mechanics I had were interesting in the third dimension. It's a more, they all behave like well, you can the laser goes in the Z-axis too. Okay, that's okay, but that's +1. That's not a ×2 or ×3 like how the water did, right?
Yeah.
And a puzzle game, I feel like, has to be interesting. Like you can't just flashiness for the sake of flashiness. It's 3D now.
It has to amaze when you first enter the mechanic. Yeah, I understand entirely. There's a moment there where there has to be a sense of surprise for the player where they go, wait, that's how that works? And I felt that a number of different times throughout this when you were doing things like with the moon travel was really interesting with that because it was like, oh, there's the aha moment, right?
Yeah. But I will say, like, I plan to do 3D. Like, when I was working on 3D, I was actually planning on making 4D, making that the ending. If you have watched Interstellar, there's a segment with the cube. Sort of like that, but the fourth dimension wouldn't be time. I had a whole, 1,000-year all long sci-fi story planned for that. That would kind of like Interstellar, but I cut all of that because it just wasn't going to be what was going to be the most interesting version of the game, and focus on 2D. And I don't think that was a wrong decision at that moment because that allowed me to focus so much on the cool things. Like if I go in 3D and 4D, I would be distracted by all the additional axes and stuff, and not maybe find the cool stuff like the water or the silly stuff like deleting the moon. That really makes what the game currently is so enjoyable,
Yeah, no, it makes sense completely. And I think you made the right decision because we're here now, and your game is awesome. So I feel like it's doing it right,
Yeah, but it was a wild journey. I do plan to make a 2D version at some point because I really want people to experience that story. When I wrote the ending to it, I personally cried.
Oh, no, I mean, if you're emotional about your own story, then it means that you've done something correctly, honestly. It's one of the things that I always feel whenever I'm doing like an emotional scene when I'm working on stuff is if I don't feel something for it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nobody else will either, I'm very, very excited about this, though. So, the hardest questions, these are always the most difficult. When do you feel that it's most likely to launch? And I know that is the answer to that. Maybe you have no idea, and that would be just fine.
I think I'm planning to launch Q3 next year or Q4, depending on how much content I feel like belongs in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's still up in the air, but I am aiming for that region. The comments asked for something, a game about Stretchmancer. I don't want to answer that. There's also another interesting story there.
Stretchmancer's really good. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. So both of them are from the same game jam. Same freaking game jam. Limited Space team. And both of us have developed now. So yeah. It just really I spent 2 years working on this game, right? And when Stretchmancer won that game jam, and I played it, and I know that it was better than my game at that point. And
makes sense.
2 years I spent working on this game, and it's okay. Stretchmancer hasn't released. They're in 2 years. They're not gonna magically appear in 2 years. they did after release by demo.
So you're waiting in the wings, afraid that Stretchmancer's gonna launch right after you launch.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I mean, it's in the same genre as you. It won that, it won the game jam that you're in. But I honestly think I've played Stretchmancer, and I feel that these games are very different from each other, incredibly so. As much as that one is in a 3D space, the art style and direction is completely different. The musical direction is very different. The writing style is completely different than what you have
I
here.
definitely agree with that.
And I think those two games can easily fit in the same space without stepping on each other's toes. 100%.
To be clear, I meant that a bit jokingly. That it's
Okay.
like an ancient that was woke from his sleep to somehow fight me.
Yeah. Definitely don't. If you are worried, don't be, because I think you guys you'll coexist quite fine.
I mean, hopefully, like we'll be able to do this together and do a bundle. Everyone knows.
There you go. That's one of the biggest things is I see that it's always funny to me, right? Like with major studios, you'll get like a lot of stepping on toes and people getting mad at each other, and if anything even gets a little bit close, I'm like, just do a bundle together, man. You both had ideas that were really cool. Your respective communities really like it. If you have games that are similar, reach out to the other indie devs and be like, hey, do you want to do a bundle? Our games are similar. Immediately, there's a ton of devs that would just go for it. You'd be very surprised. Because everybody wins when you do that. Nobody wins when there's a fight. It's...
That part of the indie community is really just great. The wholesomeness and everyone just working together to
Yeah, it really does.
Simple.
Yeah, it reminds me of Minecraft shouting at Terraria. Yes, exactly. So you get it. This is the most interesting thing, because at first I was like, why doesn't it just do the lasers the whole time that I'm doing this? And then I was like, oh, this is why. Because if you move the character in some way and the lasers go off instantly, it would kill you along the way, which is kind of funny.
This level is like really simple, but everyone gets tripped up. But why is that doing that?
Yeah, no, it isn't. It isn't like super hard.
No. Those are my favorite levels. The ones that aren't hard, but some before a bit. What? Oh, wait, what the hell is happening here? And then you figure it out, and like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get it to the right angle. I do love this, though. Like, I love what you've created in terms of the mechanics available. Like, it's really clean. It's really interesting. And I guess I didn't expect that, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't expect it to be so well polished right off the bat. Because a lot of times when you have a game that's, like, kind of in demo, there's some scuff on it, but nothing is broken here. Nothing is scuffed at all. This is, like, I would buy this already. So, like, you're doing something right, let me tell you.
Let me tell you that before I released the demo on May, the very day I was released it, on morning it was broken. And that was the most terrified I ever was, because it was part of some very big events, recently big events that the Dragnet grant that helped me participate to, and like I was afraid of like disappointing all those people that didn't work.
Fair,
like,
yeah. But you
someone like that.
So you said a grant? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's called the Dragnet New Voices Grant. You can find it if you search it online.
Cool. Is it a government one or is it like an award related one?
Yeah, it's more like a global one that a bunch of developers do. There's a puzzle game developer called Dragnet and Friends who made a lot of really great puzzle games, and they started this grant as a diversity thing to help people from more underrepresented regions or communities make games, because it just like not only is it hard to get funding for games from the regions, getting funding for puzzle games in general is hard.
Way harder. Like, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, puzzle games are really difficult to sell to publishers as well, to like get them to be interested in it. Is something that I found, which I don't know. Like, I feel like it might just be like the audience size kind of a thing, or they're worried about rate of return. But I'm gonna be real with you. I love games like this. I think they should be less timid about it for investment for that kind of stuff, because they're awesome.
This level is very simple in what you have to do, but first it doesn't make sense. First it seems impossible in a sense, but then you figure it out. Like, that's what's been happening all this time,
Yeah, and you don't realize it either, which is the interesting part about it. Is you don't realize that you've been pulling your character like that, but that is because there's no point of reference, Love that. Absolutely love it. Okay, so the other super, super hard question is, how much do you think you're going to price this at?
I think that depends on how much content like at this point, I just don't know how many puzzles I can would be in the full game, so it's a bit hard to ask.
Fair.
But I think I'm gonna might be around 10, maybe less, maybe more, depending on the content. With regional pricing, of course, because I want people from my country and from other people, other areas to be able to buy it. Because I know what it's like not being able to afford a game.
Yeah.
In my area. So.
So is it what kind of games are generally most popular? Because you said it was mostly people playing a lot of mobile games, right? Do you think that that this will be popular there as well if you price it correctly? Like how popular are puzzle games there?
I wouldn't say it's very popular to an extent. I didn't really make this for a Bangladeshi audience.
Good.
Because, like, I'll be honest, like, I have nothing against mobile games, but I don't like how they're monetized, how they're designed to monetize you.
Agreed.
And
100%.
Yeah, if I make a game that explicitly would appeal to Bangladeshi gamers, then it would have to be something around that, and I don't want to make that. I wouldn't enjoy that.
Is that really common there? Like the type of monetization that is mostly in like mobile gaming with like either gacha or things like that? Like what is the most common monetization that is popular there? Because one of the things that I talk to chat quite a lot about the community is people don't realize there's a very big difference internationally in what monetization methods are accepted. Because here in the United States, if we get a really big microtransaction, it's like some massive thing like $500, we go, that's a ripoff. But in China and South Korea, it may be seen as that's a status symbol, as a positive, which is very different in terms of like ideals. And I'm interested to see what is it like there.
I'd say it's more like free games with, like, most people actually just grind it out. But one thing that's not talked about is that having a credit card to pay those things is actually kind of hard. With international transaction, it was quite hard to like maybe get as a child. So people actually prefer to like maybe be able to grind it out or watch ads or that sort of thing. But I do want to stress that there are people who buy, console games, who buy Steam games. Those are also there, but a lot of the market is on mobile.
That's really interesting. Yeah. For me, it's really interesting because I get to see a window into, other areas of the world and like the gaming communities there from the perspective of someone who's making games there. Like that's not something I knew. I have no idea. I don't know what it's like there. And I think that's really interesting. And I'm kind of excited to see how well you do with this, because to me, in the puzzle solving community, like this seems like we do incredibly well, because the mechanic is super novel. It's really well executed. The audio, the sound, like the colors, the everything that you have set up in this is just very well polished, and yeah, it looks excellent. Exactly. And I think this is very easy to cross borders in terms of like the kind of people who would play it, because I don't have to worry about much localization. There's a little bit in there, right, in terms of localizing text, but mostly it's a play with the screen, move objects around kind of game, and that's fantastic. Like that's great for that. So I think it's cool that you didn't target really any audience.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I wanted a global audience, and wanted to avoid having text as much as possible, both for puzzle reasons and also for like accessible regions. People really don't even need to know the UI or know the language to play this. You can just infer for most things.
Yeah, it's one of the things that like I guess a lot of people don't realize is when we're dealing with indie games, you're dealing with like smaller budgets. A lot of them will opt to just have symbols instead of text, because then you don't have to localize the text. You can still sell it in a bunch of different countries and everyone can understand it. So the more that you do that, the more that you limit the amount of localization you have to do, the easier it is to cross borders with the game. So that makes sense completely. I love that you have the bug report right on this, by the way. Wishlist now. Bug.
I mean, those are the two modes I am. Yes, wishlist, they're coming in, and oh no, there's a bug report.
Do it. Wishlist the video game. Do it.
Yeah, I do want to say that as a small indie developer, I would really appreciate it. And we are actually in the middle of looking for publishers for maybe get some funding to expand the scope of the game. And wishlist numbers are the first thing they look at. So it would really help me.
So I am interesting. Interested. A lot of the times, people aren't looking for publishers because they are worried about losing control of the game or anything like that. What makes you want to work with a publisher specifically?
It's like I've been handling almost all of the business stuff myself for this past 6 months after
Mhm.
releasing the game, and I am the bottleneck here. Like there's so much I want to do, like sharing with the community, marketing and whatnot, but I can't find the time to separate myself from the game and actually do that. And actually having someone to do it would probably be better.
That's fair.
And like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's super fair. I think it may be like you're just talking about biz dev, like putting it up on Steam and like running the business side of stuff, making sure that you can just work on the game effectively, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, publishers will generally handle that kind of thing. I will tell you, this to me looks like one of those solid gold games that a publisher would be like, I'm in instantly. Just don't get ripped off. that's the biggest thing I can tell you is don't get ripped off because what you're
will tell
making
you
is
that
really
I
cool.
got some rejection medals right this morning.
Yeah,
Like publishers, they really hate the words puzzle platform.
they do. They do.
If you're in the game dev community, you will know that this is the number one
Yep.
thing they don't recommend.
Yeah, they're scared of
But I made
puzzle
it anyway.
platformers. That is true. But I think you're making something really special here. And if there is a publisher that goes for it, I always caution people to be super careful because I find that a lot of the times publishers are vampires. A lot of the times.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it'll happen to you, but it might. And I want to wish you the best on that because it does make sense to go after that if you're trying to get the biz dev side of stuff done. And it's funny because I've talked to many other devs in the past. I'm like, why do you want a publisher? And they're like, I don't know. And I was like, then you don't need one. They're like, to be a real dev. I'm like, no, it's a bad idea. But it seems like you've got a very solid understanding of what you want to do. That's awesome. And I think your game is cool. I really do. And it blew me away when we saw it. Like going through all of the stuff. Like we had over 500, I think it was about 500 games submitted. And just looking through everything, I was like, holy shit. The mechanic on this is rad, man. So, yeah, nice job on that. Moon's haunted. Well, we got rid of it, so we just compressed it out of space. It's fun, And I see you have a bunch of other levels in the trailer here too, which are really interesting, like levels we didn't get to see before.
Yeah, I'd say the current count is about 100 levels, but all of these mechanics maybe they're not up to snuff on the on the water moon level stuff. So
yeah, that's
but
really.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident about hitting the 120-ish level. Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, Chet, do you have any questions? I think this is fantastic, and I think any publisher should be drooling to publish this game. To be honest with you, 100%. Oh yeah, chat wants to know: do you have any ideas for doing where was it, co-op mode or a versus mode? I wonder what a versus mode would be like. How do you fold space twice? I just crush the other person out of the map.
I think I've had to deal with enough physics bugs already. I don't want to do co-op.
Yeah, I think that'd be really wild. Will this game work on a potato? I think it was using like 4% of my CPU. So like, yeah, like.
I mean, it could be more optimized, but it's not too demanding at this moment. And I plan to like, another thing from this area is that the ones who do have PCs don't have high spec PCs, and I want people from my country to be able to play it. So I intentionally make it able to run anywhere with a simple art style.
Yeah, and you've got a 1060 as the recommended. So like, pretty good. Pretty like it's we're on 5000 series now. So yeah, that's way out there. Are you guys? Does this work for Steam Deck?
I haven't. Like I'm planning to add gamepad support. It's a bit of a challenge because it's so cursor based, mouse based, and I want to make that feel good before I put it there.
That's awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. I see you have a ton of awards on this. Awesome job, phenomenal, honestly. But yeah, no, what you guys are doing, like, you're a solo dev on this, right? You don't have anybody else working with you?
I have some contractors on the art and sound. I do handle part of the art and all of the VFX, but the sound is completely handled by another person. But I'm the only one who's working full time. And
Fair.
with a puzzle game, you have the benefit that you can make the puzzles and the mechanics yourself, and only when it's time to polish, you can involve other people. that's also let us run on a low budget to make it.
Yeah, that makes sense completely. Yeah, no, I understand that model as well. Well, is there anything else you want to tell the community about your game or about what you're working on or how to find your stuff or your Discord or anything like that?
Yeah, you can I would again appreciate it if you can wishlist on
Do it.
Steam. Otherwise you can follow me on X or Blue Sky, whichever one you prefer, right?
All right, rock on. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else at all you want to tell them before we go? Any words of advice for the young developer?
I think I want to show something motivating.
Sure.
So the game demo released on May 20, and a month before that, the game looked like shit. So, and the entire look of the game came in the last month, in a sort of like everyone's work converging. The artists, my shader stuff, my VFX, and it's sometimes amazing how much a game can change from just a bit of polish and some time.
So it really just comes down to just keep building. Don't give up, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that makes sense completely. I mean, you went from going and making a game jam game to building all of this out. We actually run 2 game jams a year in July and January every year. And some of the stuff that people make out of it is phenomenal. This is a good example of that. Go do game jams. Make weird stuff. Try things.
Yeah.
You know, you never know if the weird little mechanic you made inside of a game jam is going to lead to something enormous. This was 1 month of visual improvements for your game.
Yep. What you see on the left has been there for the 2 years that I've been working on the systems for the game. On that image, I guess it's gone, I guess.
So it went from
And all the
this
VFX.
to
Wow.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a month. That's a month of work, you know, if you really try to polish everything out. That's phenomenal. That's you should be really proud of that. Seriously. It's phenomenal looking.
Thank you. I hope this inspires other people to try their best.
Yeah, I hope so too. They should. It's one of those things is like you never know where it's going to take you, so try making something weird. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. Either way, you're going to learn something cool. Yeah, the before and after is awesome. Well, it was nice having you on. Your game is fantastic. And thank you very much. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Same to you, and good luck with the showcase, and I hope to see more cool games here.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more of Compressed Space, honestly. I want to play this once you have those, 200 levels out? I'm ready.
Okay, so maybe tone down the number to something.
500 levels? Heard it. Got it. Yeah. 1,000 levels, Chet.
Maybe I'll just make the level editor and let you guys cover it.
Chad is saying, please let us throw money at you. So you've got people who want to buy it, for sure. Yeah, I can't believe over 9,000 levels. Insane, right? You have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one, dude.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay.